Hello, we are back for movie reviews. Movies and books and TV shows, you guys know how this works by now. I do one of these at least once a month. I watch a lot of TV and movies, and I like talking to you about them, and if you don't like it, you don't have to watch, but I like it, so we're gonna get right into it. Number one is a book I read. It's called Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna, who wrote my favorite book, The Nightingale, and it's amazing. I wasn't looking forward to reading that one as much as some other ones, but it ended up being very, very good. It's very sad. It's another one about the war, which I know isn't like everyone's cup of tea. If you want like an upbeat story, this isn't the one for you. But if you like reading about the war and different countries and cultures and things that take place back in the 40s, you like it. It has a lot of family stuff going on in it, and it's very, the progression of it is very smooth and nice. Some books kind of flash forward and back and forward and back, and it's very confusing, and this one really flowed really nicely. Set It Up on Netflix is an original. I can't remember who's in it, but there's that girl that everyone knows who she is. That didn't help you, did it? Romantic comedy, it was cute. It's not crazy good, but it's a cute romantic comedy. It was pretty funny. I don't think I'd watch it again, but I didn't like regret watching it. So that one's that. Kissing Booth is another Netflix original. I actually really liked that. It's with Joey King. Is that her name? I can't remember. It was really cute. It was a romantic comedy, but like a teenage romantic comedy. The moments, like the timing, everything was really good. And oh yeah, that's what, there was a guy in it who's Joe Suggs' friend Byron. Is he in it? I think that's him. He's in it. Pretty interesting. Next, How It Ends. That was a very, very, very good movie with Kat Graham and Forrest Whitaker and Theo James. It's an action about a man and his father-in-law having to cross the country to find the guy's wife and like the other guy's daughter, and they're going together across the country to try to, you know, save her. Very actiony. It's kind of like the end of the world, and they have to try to like survive it, and I found it so interesting. It's better than like the 2012, like that movie. It's much better than that. I just really liked it a lot, and I think it's a good movie to watch with a guy who doesn't like romantic comedies. Although I do have to say the ending was not great. Come Inside My Mind is was it HBO? Ooh, I can't remember if it's HBO or Showtime. It's a documentary about Robin Williams, so if you're interested in that, I definitely recommend it. Some documentaries are very boring, but I found this one so good. Mamma Mia, the second one. Oh, the first one and the second one. I knew the second one was coming out, so I watched the first one for the first time recently, which you guys are going to be like, what? Very, very good. I usually don't like Amanda Seyfried, but I thought this is a role I really liked her in. Obviously, Meryl Streep is always amazing. Colin Firth, amazing. I loved it a lot, the first one. The second one, people said it was better. I don't think so. I mean, I think the acting was very good. I love Lily James' role. There were moments I loved, but I just felt like the story of the first one was better, and I even liked the music in the first one better, so maybe that's just me. Pushing Dead, that's on Amazon with James Roday. You guys know I love James Roday. He's the one from Psych, and now on A Million Little Things. It's an AIDS comedy, which seems, you know, like an oxymoron, right? But he's a phenomenal actor, and I knew that from Psych because he has these parts in Psych that are so funny, but then also so serious, and he does them so well, and this movie was no different. I don't know that it was rated very well, but it just felt really realistic, and the funny moments didn't feel over the top. The comedy was like what you actually laugh at in real life, so I just overall really liked it. If you like James Roday, you should definitely check that out. This was so good. I can't believe I didn't watch it sooner. It's called The Fundamentals of Caring. It has Paul Rudd and Selena Gomez in it, and it's just really sweet and cute and funny, and anything with Paul Rudd I usually like. And it was Selena Gomez playing a part that you don't normally see her playing, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. It was kind of serious, and it's kind of that good mix of drama and comedy. Brain on Fire, another very good movie with Chloe Grace Moretz. I don't always like her, but again, she's a very good actress. It's on Netflix. I don't know if it's a Netflix original. It might be. Pretty much, it's based on a true story, which I always love movies like that, about a girl who's pretty much losing her mind. And it is based on a true story, which is kind of hard to imagine when you watch this. It's a girl who's, you know, very successful. She's in her early 20s, and she pretty much starts to lose her mind and go crazy, and everyone doesn't understand why, and she has to go through all these tests and medications, and, you know, she pretty much almost loses her life. And I don't want to give away the ending or anything, but it's very, very, very interesting. Next, Christopher Robin. I loved it. I know a lot of people didn't like Christopher Robin, but I thought it was great. I know people were like, oh, it's so depressing. I thought it was nice. I don't think it was really meant for kids. I thought it was more of like a people who grew up with Winnie the Pooh would like watching it, and that's how I felt. I cried. I thought it was really sweet. Similar to Goodbye Christopher Robin, if you saw that UK version. Very much more adult oriented. Laggies, a very slow movie, but it was pretty good. It was with Chloe Grace Moretz and Keira Knightley. It's about a woman who's trying to grow up, but she's not really ready to grow up. All her friends are like married or pregnant, and she's just at this point where like she's not ready for that life. She doesn't know what she wants to do, and she's kind of stuck. So she kind of takes a break from her life. It's really interesting. I thought it was actually really, really good. It's kind of movie that isn't, again, over the top or like fake or like trying too hard. It just kind of is. And I enjoyed it. Another good one was called Like Father. It's with Kelsey Grammer and Kristen Bell. Essentially, Kristen Bell gets left at the altar and she meets up with her father, who she hasn't really talked to her entire life. And they get drunk and she ends up taking him on her honeymoon, and their relationship kind of forms and falls apart, and you know, funny things happen. And I thought it was a really good movie, better than what you would expect from like reading the description. Insatiable. I did a whole video talking about Insatiable. You can check that out if you're interested. It's fantastic. Spoiler alert. To all the boys I loved. I really liked this. I know a lot of people said it's not that good, or it's not as good as some other movies. I really liked it, not only because the acting was so good, but because it was different. It didn't feel like every other kind of teen romantic comedy. And I know for some people it did, but for me it didn't. It just felt a little bit different. It felt like we got a different perspective. I think the dialogue was good, of course, like Noah Centineo, I'm definitely saying that wrong, is amazing. Everyone was stunning. It was directed by and written by a woman, so that's great. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. How did I just watch this now? Freaking amazing. If you haven't watched it, watch it. I know it doesn't look like it's for everyone, and I hesitated watching it for that reason, thinking like, oh, I know it's gonna be good, but like it's not gonna be that good. It's that good. Funny and interesting and real, and every actor I feel like was cast perfectly. The one-liners are just fantastic. There's so much wit and just like, oh, it's so good. Like if you want a show that will entertain you with the plot and with the dialogue and the comedy, oh, watch it, watch it, watch it. And if you love like the 40s, 50s, you should watch it. That's on Amazon, and so is the next one, which is Absentia. I'm probably saying that wrong too. If you like Christina Caddick from Castle, watch this. She's a phenomenal actress. It's so dark, but so good. If you watched The Night Of on HBO, you're gonna like this. It's not exactly the same, but it has that same vibe to it. It's about an FBI agent who goes missing for 6 years, presumed dead, and so her family obviously has to move on, and they find her, and she kind of has to live now, kind of re-find her life and kind of come to terms with the fact that she's been gone for 6 years and things have changed, and she also has to find out who, you know, has been torturing her for 6 years, and it's so good. Watch it. I swear you're gonna love it. Jurassic World 2. I was so disappointed. Like, immensely disappointed. I love all the Jurassic World movies, like every single one. Jurassic Park movies and the first Jurassic World movie. And this one just let me down. It just let me down. I just didn't think it was that good. Same goes for Deadpool 2. I love the first Deadpool. The second one was just as funny, but it felt very repetitive to me. Like, it was nothing shocking. Like, if you make the Deadpool, the first one was shocking. It was interesting. It was like, wow, I didn't expect that. But the second one just felt kind of like bits and pieces of the first one that they didn't use. Sarah Burgess is a loser. This movie is very problematic. I agree with a lot of the stuff that's going around on the internet about it. It is problematic. Like, I'm not gonna, deny that. The fact that she fakes being deaf, not cool. I don't think it was intended to come across how insensitive it came across, but it was insensitive either way. Like, for Netflix, that tries to be pretty, forward thinking, pretty disappointing. The movie I thought was good. I thought it was very, very sweet and informative, and kind of comes from this perspective of, just because you think someone's perfect doesn't mean they're happy. And it kind of gets into the minds of people, and I thought it was very good. I thought that, the plot was actually pretty decent, but it does, make light of some serious things, like catfishing, pretending you're deaf. These things just, the ending was not disappointing, but, people forgive people so easily in movies for stupid things they do. It did kind of feel like, to me, like an 80s rom-com, but in the 80s, problematic things weren't problematic. Back then, now you watch an 80s movie and you see how problematic things are, but it kind of felt like a movie made now that was problematic. And I did like it. I wouldn't not recommend it, but it definitely has its issues, which was disappointing for sure. I Feel Pretty, very good. I of course like Amy Schumer, and I just thought it was a really good movie. It's like a reverse Shallow Hal. Like, you know how in Shallow Hal he sees women who, like, he sees women based on their insides. Like, if they have good insides, they look gorgeous on the outside. Hers is kind of like the reverse of that. She saw herself that way. And it really shows the importance of confidence and how your whole life can change just by the way you view yourself. It kind of shows you how confidence can make you feel so free and less weighed down and less sad. And obviously we can't all have amazingly confident days, like that's just not realistic, but it was very insightful. Tully with Charlize Theron, that was a good one. I was anticipating this to be like a sad, kind of funny, dramedy kind of thing, but it was a lot better than I thought it would be. It was a lot different than I thought it would be. I'm very good at predicting the end of movies, predicting what's going on, and this movie I was wrong, and that never happens. So I definitely recommend it if you've seen about it. It's kind of pretty much a mother who's exhausted. She has kids, she's pregnant, she has another baby, and she's just exhausted all of the time. It's kind of her finding her own, the mistakes she makes, and just like motherhood. And I thought it was very, very, very good. And of course Charlize Theron is like a fantastic actress. Okay, book, Secrets of a Charmed Life. It's about sisters during World War II and kind of how they survive and with their family, and like how they both have these dreams they want to create, and like how they kind of move on and grow up, and it's so good. Again, if you liked like The Nightingale and things like that, this is kind of like that. 50-50. It's with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and, did I write down the other person? Seth Rogen and Anna Kendrick, very good. It's about a guy who's young, has his whole life ahead of him, and he gets cancer, and he kind of just has to like rethink his whole life and decisions that he's making, and like face things that he's never really wanted to face before. It's good. It's funny, surprisingly funny for a movie about cancer. Life at the Party, Melissa McCarthy. Some movies with her are kind of just like, okay, we get it, you're funny. And this one was not like that. It was funny and really good, but it wasn't like overdone funny. I really enjoyed it a lot. I laughed out loud. No One Would Tell is a Lifetime movie with Shannon Doherty. That's why I watched it. Love Shannon from Charmed. It's about domestic violence, and it was really good for a Lifetime movie. Lifetime's kind of stepping up their game, if you ask me. Forever is a comedy. It's a show on Amazon with Maya Rudolph, and it's super weird. I love Maya Rudolph. I think she's very funny, and that's why I wanted to watch it. And I saw a commercial for it, and I thought, oh, this looks good, I'll watch it. I think it has 12 episodes in it, and in the first 2 episodes, or maybe that's just the first episode, you think it's going one way. You think it's about this married couple who's kind of bored, but like pretty funny, and you know, like the humor is what keeps their marriage alive, and like, I thought that's what it's going to be about. And then by the second episode, you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's so weird. Like, when I say weird, it's not just like, oh, this is like odd, like The Office or something. Like, it is beyond weird. Halfway through, I was like, should I keep watching this? But it was good, and I watched the whole thing, so I don't know if there's gonna be a season 2, though. Table 19, Anna Kendrick, about single people at a wedding, or like the rejects at a wedding, like the people who you just kind of invite to fill a table, I guess. It was unexpectedly good, unexpectedly serious. Anna Kendrick can do anything. Let's just leave that there. Crazy Rich Asians. You guys are all gonna hate me. Unpopular opinion here. I didn't love it. It was good, for sure. Like, it wasn't a bad movie. I enjoyed it. But with all the hype and all the people being like, this is the best movie ever, I don't know. It didn't feel that unique. I mean, obviously the representation is so important, and it was a well-made movie, and the dialogue and the story and the plot, like, everything was really good. Like, I have no complaints about it. I think I just, you know, it was built up so much that I was like, really? This one was really surprisingly good. Overboard with Anna Faris. It's a remake of the one from the 80s. It was freaking hilarious. I can't believe I haven't heard about it more. I remember hearing about it when it first came out, but like I haven't heard anyone talk about it. Good, Eva Longoria's in it. It just really surprised me. So if you're looking for a good, funny movie, it's kind of a romantic comedy, but it's definitely very like gender neutral romantic comedy. We're getting to the end of the list. A Simple Favor. So shocking. Wow. Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. Holy smokes. I knew this was going to be good, but based on the commercials, and you feel like you already know what's going to happen, and you feel like, okay, they're showing little bits of the whole movie. Nope. This, literally, the commercials only show like the first 20 minutes of the movie. This movie is like unbelievably shocking. So good. Like, way better than I anticipated. Hello, Blake Lively. Please be in more movies. I mean, it was so good. If you've been like second guessing seeing it, see it. Summer Sisters, I read, is by Judy Blume. Very surprising. It's an old book. Not old, but like not new. It was good. It was about two best friends kind of growing up together from young, like 6th grade age to adulthood, and like kind of how they're very different, but they have this connection. It wasn't my favorite, but it was definitely very interesting. The Incredibles 2. So overhyped. Didn't even watch the whole thing. It did not keep my interest at all. I could watch the first Incredibles movie like 3 times in one day. Like it's a good cartoon. The Incredibles 2, no thank you, no thank you at all. Finally, last one that I just recently watched on Netflix is Nappily Ever After. Can't remember the actress's name, but I really liked it a lot. It's about a black woman who her hair is kind of her identifying factor. Like her hair, her life revolves around it, you know, if it's gonna rain, she can't do this, and she was kind of raised that way, and, you know, something happens in her life, and she kind of switches gears, and it kind of shows you, it makes it seem like it's all about hair, and it's very superficial, but it's a movie about perfection, and how a lot of women feel this responsibility to be perfect for men, for their jobs, for their parents, and how once you let go of trying to be perfect, you're a lot happier. And it was very, very good. Like, very, very good. And that is the last movie on my list. Why am I singing? Hope you liked this movie review video. Let me know in a comment below too if there's any movies you want me to watch to let you know how they are, or my opinions on anything else that maybe you have seen. And you can check out all my old videos of this kind of video down below. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.